What's up with y'all, man? First off, no, you have not been bamboozled. This is definitely a top 8 regional deck profile. Just wanted to say some things before I got into it. Also, when the event was done, they straight up kicked us out the venue, so we ain't really have time to sit down and record any deck profiles. Anyway, for my OGs, it's been a minute, I know. I'll explain everything in another video. Trust me, I got y'all, but this video is for the Yu-Gi-Oh community, so I'm sorry, but just gonna have to wait one more upload. I'm sorry. TLDR for anyone else interested, I used to make content on NBA 2K and I was a top ranked player. And I was uploading on and off for about 2 years, I think, and I just suddenly just disappeared straight up, just gone. But like I said, that's a topic for another day. Also, I have timestamps in the video, so for people who want to just get to the card by card, there is a timestamp for where that starts. And I know some people are impatient sometimes, so you just want to get straight into the action, so I'll do my best to be as brief as possible. So let's get right into it. So first off, shout outs. Shout outs to all my guys at GC Gamers Choice. They are actually my locals. I'm from here, so that's usually where I attend when it comes to my tournament playing. Best locals in New York, 100%, dog. Shouts out to y'all. Also, shouts out to all the players that be playing at GC. There's a bunch of them at the top 48, I think was the cutoff for invites. A lot of GC represents out there. Shouts out to y'all. My homie Nick actually won the regional playing Brandy Dragotail. Don't remember his list exactly. Don't remember if he was on Virtus or whatever, but my homie Nick got first. Other homie got second. Other dude got 7th, and me at 8. Dog, half of top cut GC represents. Like, that's so fire, bro. That is so fire. And I'll quickly run through what people were playing. First was Brandy Dragotail. Second was Mitsu Yummy. 6th was Pure Yummy. He was actually one of my tiebreakers. 7th was Malice, MEMENTO. I think there was a Orcus Mitsu, and I think there was a VSK9. I don't remember everything completely, but from what I saw and what my dogs told me, pretty sure that's what top cut was. And lastly, shouts out to my guy Pac. Fam, all it took was one 30-minute coaching session. He was doing like a promotional intro session for people who want to get better at the game. By the way, if he's still doing that, bro, take advantage 100%, bro. Don't even matter who you are, by the way. If you feel like you nice, bro, you could only get nicer. Like, that's just the way I see it. But in that 30-minute coaching session, dog, I was able to view the game from the perspective of a pro, and I feel like something like that is super valuable for someone trying to improve. We talk theory, deck choices, siding patterns, and everything in between. And just off that one call, your boy was able to top with it, man. Next thing, deck choice. Funny enough, I actually wasn't supposed to play MEMENTO at this event. I was actually supposed to play Fiend Smithy Bell because my boy been wanting me to play it forever, and he had an extra core laying around, so I was like, yo, just let me rock with it and I'll play it. Long story short, he couldn't get the cards to me in time, so I was just like, all right, fuck it. I've been recently playing MEMENTO for a minute, well, really like the past month, but then after that I booked a session with Pac. We worked on MEMENTO and tested it at locals and made some changes while keeping the theory alive, and then went to regionals, and here we are. Top 8, dog. That's so fire. But yeah, we can get to the card by card now. So first off, we got my MVP of the deck, Darkblade. I ain't gonna lie, I'll open this dude so much throughout the tournament. Now, obviously, I don't like to start with him if I'm going first because it's worse than the Fua, but going second, seeing Darkblade into boards that are just made of back row, like Odeon, I had a crazy game 3 versus Odeon. They went completely uninterrupted, but because I saw Darkblade with triple quick play, of course, but if it was any other name, it wouldn't have worked as well, but because it was specifically Darkblade with triple quick play, I was able to win that match. Next, we got 3 Witch, another normal summon of the deck. Insta value, love her at 3. Next, we got 3 Horse. Depending on vibes, usually Horse is the way I like to start. Only if I don't see Witch, of course, but Horse plays best into Fua. Obviously, Blade plays worse. Goblin's solid, and we're playing 2 of it. 1 Mace, it's a pseudo starter. You can search Fusion, and if you have another name, you can play. Then our engine requirements, Gaddock, Sleepy, Aki, Horn Dragon, combined. Now, I want to talk about the Horn Dragon because at first me and Pac was working on the list and we thought to move the Horn Dragon to the side, and I tested it a little bit afterwards. It just felt like there were a lot of matchups where I was just missing one body to be able to just win the game. Like if I get Murukuma wiped and then all I need is just to be able to get Bone Party in hand and I have Fusion engraved, and all I need there in that situation is just any monster to be put on the field just to be able to just use the Fusion pop, add Bone Party, activate Bone Party, and then I just win. And even as an end board piece, I was playing against stuff like Pure Yummy. I expected some form of Orcus to be played, and I feel like just having it as an end board piece against those decks is actually not too bad. Hey, and it ended up working out because I actually did end up playing against both those matchups, and it definitely helped having that there. And last but not least, we have Field Spell to round out our engine requirements. And next we have the quick plays. Straight up, I'm just maxing out on all the quick plays. 3 Party, 3 Fusion, 3 Grand Breakout. All 3 of these cards just help us play better into Disruption, and they're all pseudo starters themselves. Next up, we got this little consistency package of Prosperity and 1-for-1, just power spells to help us see more lines. Next up for non-engine, we got Fua, Perulia, Ash Blossom, and Super Poly. Should have been 9 Charmies plus Super Poly, but I don't have Meows, so it's really the only reason why it's not here. And if I'm being honest, I was expecting more Draco Tail, so theory-wise, I think it was probably still incorrect to run Meows in the main if I did have it. But in actuality, I did play against more matchups where Meows would have been beneficial to have. Next, we have our 4 main fusions that we summon: King, Twin Dragon, and Guardian Chimera. You only need 2 King. You can play 3 if you want. It's just I would rather have more utility in the extra deck, so that's why I'm just playing 2. Next, we got our Super Poly targets: Mud Dragon, Garura, Starving Venom, Secretarion, and Draco Stapelia. Honestly, Draco Stapelia and Secretarion Dragon are the cards that we can just straight up hard make sometimes with Memento Fusion. There's been a lot of times where someone will try to call by my Horn Dragon, and I'll just chain Memento Fusion, shuffling it back, then sending like Witch or Creation King to make Stapelia or Secretarion respectively. And that seemed to catch a lot of people off guard, so I'm happy that that worked out. Next, for the links, we got Almirage, just fodder for SP. The protection effect sometimes comes up. SP, usually an endboard piece. Herald, usually endboard piece. And Geonator Transverser. So let's talk about Geonator Transverser, y'all. This card is literally just for Liger. Now, shouts out to Pack for this one, because ain't gonna lie, he put me onto this one crazy. Geonator Transverser has 2 effects, not just one. Most people know it for the switcheroo effect, but this card has more text on it, dog. This card reads that while it's linked to a monster, that just means it has to point to literally anything, itself plus whatever it points to cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. I'm sorry to all the Lunalight players, I'm low-key leaking the goo right now, but the way you out double Liger is, first off, they'll usually try to summon it in the both end zones, because like usually they'll try to play around Gorgon, so they'll summon one to the far left and one to the far right. You'll just summon the Transverser pointing to the Liger on the far right, but even if they don't summon it to the zones, like that doesn't matter, you don't care about that. You basically try to summon Transverser, you summon Combined Creation to the zone that it points to, so that itself and Combined can't be destroyed by card effects. You summon Creation King, then you try to threaten game because you'll use Aki to be able to attack directly. You'll attack directly with Creation King first. They'll use one of the Ligers. Only Creation King will die. You will then use Combine to attack the Liger that has not activated, beat over it, and then you'll crash Transverser into the used Liger. Then, since Combine is the only monster on field, they can attack all monsters once each, so that you'll then attack over the used Liger Dancer, and you just win the game, because that's pretty much that deck's entire strategy. Now, there's an argument to be made that sure, they can just use their Ligers prior to you doing this play, because if they know, they can potentially stop you from doing that. Memento is one of those decks that can actually push very, 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 very far. So if they preemptively Liger you, you can potentially have a hand that just pushes through double Liger and just OTKs, and you don't even have to do the Transverser play. You just straight up just summon King and Combined and just attack for AK, depending if they play it right or wrong. Now, of course, there's variance. You can be flooded out with hand traps. Your hand can just be weak. There's a bunch of variables that can change whether this is a success or not. But it's a nice game plan to have, and the card is actually somewhat versatile, so you can actually get use out of the take effect. Maybe there's something that you want to get rid of, force out. I don't know, like this. There's stuff that can come up with it. Last 2 cards in the extra, Ripper and Typhon. I didn't make them at all this weekend, but Ripper's here for Draco Tail, some Mitsu variants, and Typhon's just generic utility, so happy I had them. So for the side, Pack and I decided that we would respect Malice and Lunalight for this event, so we chose to run the 3 Lancias. Droll just to have as another just a blowout against potential Rogue, Mitsuyami, Raziel. Double Cyclone for the Draco Tail matchup. Could have came up in the Odeon matchup I had, but didn't see it. And the last 6 cards should all be going first cards that you side out your chummies for. So I chose to play Talents, Called By, and 1 Imperm. The 1 Imperm should have been Judgment. 3 Solemn Warning. Originally, we decided that Horn Dragon would be amongst one of those 6 cards that we decided going first, but like I said earlier, through testing, I wanted to play it in the main. So that left us with an extra spot to fill in the side. So originally, we were going to do Horn Dragon, Call by Talents, and 3 Imperm. But I just really respected Draco Tail and really wanted to stop Ketu, Rahu, Branded Fusion any way they had to just like break my board with power spells. Like if they draw Ketu, Rahu, I'm only gonna have 1 Herald negate. So it's like more ways to negate that is just 100% welcomed. So that's why I played it. But yeah, that's pretty much the list. Appreciate everyone that supported me at the venue. Really appreciate y'all. All my dogs at GC came up to me afterwards and congratulated me. Also, shout outs to everybody on Twitter, I guess X, that also congratulated me. I posted my list up there and got a lot of support, so I really appreciate y'all for real. But yeah, shouts out to everybody. Shouts out my guys from GC. Shouts out Pack, Inner Circle coming in soon. And we out here, y'all. Peace.